Hi, I've been looking around YouTube for a while, and I still hadn't come across a really good comparison, of a fake versus real Rolex and a Rolex versus an Invicta, which obviously takes a lot of design cues from the Rolex. So here I'm going to try to attempt to show some of the differences somebody could notice. And I apologize for the poor quality of the video, but my really good camera, the DSLR that I have, is incapable of taking video. So the focus on this thing is pretty hard to moderate, and it's going to be a little bit hard to see some of these things. I apologize. And the other thing is, as you know, real Rolexes, as well as fake ones in the Invicta, do not use anti-reflective coating on their crystals. So there may be some reflections you're going to see, and it's going to be hard to see the dial. I apologize. I don't know why Rolex does not do anti-reflective coating like Breitling and some other models do, but I'm going to try to show them as best as possible. So first of all, I think I should start off, just so you know, is this right here. This is my real Rolex. This is a 16610 model. It's a U series from 1997, and it is a Swiss T25 dial. The one next to it is my father's $100 fake from Korea. It's the two-tone gold. And then this here is the Invicta with the standard Miyota quartz movement. I'm trying to see if I can get this to focus. Probably, I can't get it to. But this is the standard Miyota quartz movement, and this is the first one that I had. So I'll try to compare this to the Rolex first. So as you can see, they are pretty similar to one another, but there are definitely some major differences. Obviously, you're going to notice the bezel first. This one has more flat surfaces. This is more of a coin edge. But as people that have Invictas or know Invictas do know, there used to be a coin edge version. I think you can still get it. But one of the big things that's also really wrong on this bezel is that while there is, there are 120 clicks to go around the dial completely, which is like a real Rolex. If you just listen to it, and maybe it's just me, but you hear it's really kind of tinny, chintzy sounding. Or if you listen to a real Rolex, it's a much quieter, smoother, more expensive sound. And now, I understand that the Invicta is not supposed to be a complete knockoff of the Rolex, so the fact that it's different and is, understandable. And you have to understand too is that these retail for $6,000. This retails, I bought this at Sam's Club for $100 like a year ago. So they're nowhere near even the same price bracket. Another thing you'll notice is anybody that knows real Rolexes knows the magnification on the date Cyclops is pretty big. Your date should completely fill the window, which on mine it's hard to focus, but you can see the date fills up the entire Cyclops. Whereas on an Invicta, whereas most fake Rolexes are too, the date is much smaller. The Cyclops magnification is nowhere near as large as that would be on a standard Rolex. So that is a big difference. Another thing is, it's really hard to tell because this camera is so bad. Let me see if I can zoom in here. No, I can't. You'll notice on a real Rolex, where the dashes are on the dial and then where the luminous markers are, there's a gap. Whereas on this Invicta, for example, I know it's really hard to tell, but there's actually the marker and the dash on the dial are touching each other almost, which you wouldn't see on a Rolex. What you would see, that's a common issue on a lot of fake Rolexes. And then let me set this back. Another big difference is this is using a Miyota movement, which I believe is the Citizen Group. And obviously this is a Rolex in-house 3135, 28,000 beats per minute movement. This is a 21 jewel, this is a 31 jewel. So if you really look at them, it's kind of hard to tell. But in public, the Rolex is a much smoother sweep than the Invicta does. The Invicta shakes a lot when it's going around and stuff. It's not a very smooth sweep, where the Rolex is very smooth. And then obviously the Rolex has a solid case back. You can't see the movement or anything. And it has a similar buckle to the way the Invicta works as well. But obviously you can't see the movement. And then the Invicta, which on fake Rolex is a dead giveaway, but this obviously isn't a fake Rolex, so they can do it. You can see the movement, which is an undecorated Miyota movement, which I said is a 21 jewel automatic. So there's that. And then the Invicta does not have a diver's extension, whereas the Rolex does. This is an older version where you pop here and it pulls out like so. It actually has a very cheap feeling. A lot of people, say that the Rolex clasp has a chintzy feel to it, and I would have to agree that the bracelet on this watch is really what kind of ruins it for me. It does have a very lightweight, cheap feel, and these are not solid links, which is kind of annoying, especially for something this expensive. But it is what it is.